Welcome to lecture 18, and in this lecture we'll talk about making drawings using a CAD software. Please note Mr. Govind Das, who is a PhD student in IIT Kanpur and also teaching assistant for this course, has helped me significantly in generating the lecture material for this. What all we will do in this, first of all, we have prepared a tutorial for you, and you'll be looking into the tutorial how to use the software LibreCAD. There are some other tutorials, and of course here is Govind Das. Thank you, Govind. There are some other tutorials also, and we are providing you the information about those. Please download those or go to the YouTube and see those tutorials. So the expectation at the end of this is that you learn how to use the CAD software. We are creating one special assignment, lab and home, which you will be doing using the LibreCAD software, and after that all other lab assignments and the home assignments you will start doing now on the CAD software only. So we will inform you when you will start making the submissions of those home assignment, laboratory assignments from our course manual. Okay, but be ready, learn the software properly. Also from the course manual, on your rough sketch or in your rough sheets, find the solutions of the problems, solve those problems as we proceed with the course. Now here are some tutorials which you can see in order to learn the LibreCAD in a better manner. So what I expect that you develop good skills on the LibreCAD software, and with this learning here you will find the other CAD software also are similar. Okay, so jumping from one software to other software will not be much of a problem, provided you know the basics of the drawing and one software. So assignments we are solving with the LibreCAD, and finally I want you to be confident on using a software and the concepts of drawing, so that in any project that you are doing in the future you can make use of the software in order to create those drawings. So that is the idea. Alright, thank you very much, and after this we are showing you a complete material, the tutorial on how to use the LibreCAD. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Govinda Das. I hope all of you guys are fine during this lockdown period. I'm here with this tutorial video to help you learn LibreCAD software. Since AutoCAD is not available with you guys, you have to do the CAD drawing using alternative applications. So there are several CAD applications available in internet. However, LibreCAD is quite smaller in size, and of course it's a free and open source CAD software. So let's do the CAD drawing using LibreCAD. Let's go through the objectives of this tutorial video. There are two objectives in this video. First is to learn LibreCAD, and second one is to draw an example problem using LibreCAD. So before going through the learning process, let me introduce about this LibreCAD software. It was originally known as CADonto. After a few months of its release, its name got changed to LibreCAD. It's a free and open source 2D CAD software. Its latest stable release was in 2016, and the version was 2.1.3. It works in several operating systems like Windows, Mac OS and Linux. The good thing is that it is available in 30 languages. So here is the website of LibreCAD software. So let's see how this software looks. So this is how when you open the LibreCAD software it looks. This is the menu bar, and these are toolbars, and these are widgets. So when you open the LibreCAD software, this is the default view what you can see. Let's look at the help links available in LibreCAD. All the relevant documents you can find out in help link available in this software. So I have mentioned some important documents which are available. This user manual and this command manual, they are quite important and you should go through them. Let's see where these documents are available in the software. Here you can see the help bar is there. Once you click on the help bar, here online help tools are available, and by clicking all these links you can get the web pages which will show you the relevant documents. You can download it there or you can read it online. So let's learn a few features in LibreCAD. First we'll learn how to set up the preferences. So there are two preferences, like application preferences and drawing preferences. So let's learn them. Let's go to the software. So those preferences can be found out here. Let's go to the option. Here two preferences are there, application preferences and current drawing preferences. Let's go to application preferences. So here are the appearance tab. So in that you can see this is snap indicator line and this is snap indicator shape. So like this all features are available. Here you can change the color of different things, and as I was mentioning, it has the flexibility of various languages. So let's see, these many languages are available. Okay, now paths, this is not that important. Let's go to default. So here the unit is millimeter in default, and these settings you can see, you can change these settings. I mean, these are the basic settings which are available with the software, and you can change the settings in software itself according to your choices. Now let's go to the other preference, that is current drawing preferences. So here first tab is paper. So paper size you can choose of your choice. However, in exams you are doing in A3 sheets, that is why I have kept A3 sheets here. Here is the units. Here you can change the units. The main units in millimeter. Now this thing you can change whether it's decimal or scientific engineering. Those things you can change, and you can change the precision. So I will prefer to put it in 1 decimal. And here are the preferences for angle format. Now let's go to grid. Here you can choose whether you want the grids or not. So I will prefer not to show the grids. One important thing is here, when you want to draw the isometric drawings, here you can choose, keep the isometric grids on, so that you can draw isometric drawings. And let's go to dimensions. Here are the preferences for dimensions. When you do dimensioning, you can keep the things according to your choice, and it will reflect in the drawing. And spline, it is not that important, so leave it. Now the second thing is to manage the widgets and tools. So in this we will be covering 3 parts, like dock widgets and toolbars, how to bring the toolbars, and the use of some tool and some menu creations. So let's see them. So here, how can you get the widgets? Before going to the widgets, you see the tools. What are the tools available? Here several tools are available. They like line, circle, curve, ellipse, polyline. So these 5 tools are to draw the things, draw the drawings. And the other tools like select is to select the entities, dimension tool is to do dimensioning, and modify tool is to modify the drawings, like move or copy, all these things you can see. and this info tool is to show the information of the entities, and these two mtext and text, they are to write something on the drawing. This mtext is used for multi-line text, and this text is for single line text. And this hatch tool is to to hatch a boundary, and point tools is to create points. Now let's see how we can bring out the widgets. So as I have already mentioned that these are the widgets like layer list, library browser, block list, and layer in this command line, all these things. And these are toolbars. So they can be brought to the screen in different ways. Let me show you. First you go to this widgets. Here this dock widgets is there. In this already this four like block list, command line, layer list, and library browser, they are already kept, which you can see here. And this other these are tools. So these tools can be brought like by clicking on it. So let's see, just click and you will get this circle widgets. Similarly you can bring the other widgets also, say curve and everything. So these things are in the form of widgets. You can also get them in tools also. In the toolbar option you go, and here you click according to your requirements, and it will come. Let's suppose click on the line toolbar, so it has come here. So using these options you can create your own toolbars, and you can place your own toolbars according to your preferences. One more thing is there. Here you can see it is to create a menu, and this is a toolbar creator. So these are used for creating the toolbars or arranging the toolbars according to your preferences. Suppose this all the arrangements are available with the default setting. However, if you want your toolbars to be arranged for your convenience, so there you can create your toolbars. So I have brought the tools and widgets according to my preferences and my requirements. Let's see which widgets I have brought. Like I have brought these all widgets and these toolbars according to my preferences. Now you can also bring those toolbars according to your preferences, and you can keep anywhere in the screen so that it will be convenient for you to use them. Now let's learn a few features in LibreCAD. So we'll learn the tools here. Let's go to the software. So here I have brought these widgets and toolbars. So you can use these tools directly by using your mouse, and you can draw also using command. Like AutoCAD, this software has also the feature of using command and tools. So let's see the tools here. The line widget is there. So let's see how they are being used. Here is the line option. So you can to draw a line you can use line command, or you can simply type L. So it will ask for the first point. You choose any point on the screen, then it will ask for the next point. So simply you can go forward by clicking different points, or you can give the coordinates also. Here you can give the coordinates in the command line. You can give the coordinates and you can draw lines. So whenever if you want to get out of one command, then you can press the right click, and you can do right click. So once you would do one right click, then you will come out of the command. But to totally come out from the command, you have to right click twice. So you will come out from the command. As I have told you, you can use the command or you can use the tool. So this was 2 points line command. So we can also use another tool. This is angle tool. Let's click on it. So once we click angle click, then it will ask for the position to place. So select any point, you will get the angle line, a line with the particular angle which you have given. So here one bar is there, you can see it is the angle description. Here you can change whether that angle, the angle you need. So suppose you put 20 degree, and you can here put the length, suppose 100, and this point is like whether you want to choose the line to start from the end point or the starting point or the middle point. So it's according to your requirement, you can use it. So once you put down this values, then according to that this will change and you will get your line. So you can put anywhere. Similarly, you can use the other tools in the line widget. So let's go to the polyline widget. So here if you choose polyline, it's a continuous line. So for different points you can go. So now what is the difference between line and polyline? Suppose we have drawn these lines earlier. So if you select one line, then one line only will be selected. However, for a polyline, the entire polyline will be selected. This is the basic difference between polyline and line. Now let's see the circle widget. Here various circle options are there. So this is circle and point. Like you have to specify the center point of the circle, and you have to specify the radius. So simply other tools are there, other circle tools you can use. Now dimension, here this tool is align dimension. Let's click it. We can select these points and it will show the aligned dimension. Similarly, we can use linear. So selecting the points, it will show the linear distances. So the one thing we can emphasize here you can put the label you want to write, and here some superscript label and subscript label, and here is the angle, like whether you want to find the distance, vertical distance or horizontal distance, that you can put. Here options are also there. This is horizontal and this is vertical. If you click horizontal, then horizontal distance will come, and if you click vertical, then vertical linear distance will come. So in the modify tool, the modify widget, the tools are available. This is move or copy, this is rotate and scale, all these tools are available. So before using any tool, you have to select the object first, then whatever this tool you want to use, you can use. And let's click on move, then it will ask for the reference point. Reference point means from which we will start doing the tool, start using the tool. So let's use the center point as a reference point. Then we can move the selected entities in two different places. So it will ask for the target point. So anywhere we can put. So next it will ask whether we have to keep the original or we have to delete the original. So when you are copying, then you can keep the original, otherwise if you are moving, then you can delete the original. So once you want to erase all these things, simply select everything, and either you can use the command of erase, ER, or simply you can delete them. So let's look at the one important toolbar, which is snap toolbar. So this is snap toolbar. Here we can see various options, like this is exclusive snap mode, EX, and this is free snap, this is a grid snap, and this is snap to end. So various snap options are there. So let me show you the use of these things. Suppose here we draw a line, say from end to end, one line we draw. Then if we want to directly create another line or start a drawing from this endpoints, then we can choose this snap on endpoints. So it will show directly the endpoint and you can click from that point. So similarly here it is snap on entity, or here snap on center, snap on middle. Let's use it. Use snap on middle. If you press, then it will show the midpoint of line. From there you can do, there you can draw some other lines. So now you can see that this is exclusive snap mode. This exclusive snap mode, if you turn on, then only one snap mode will be activated. Whichever you want, you can use that. But if you turn it off, then several snap modes you can activate. So this is the use of snap mode. Now we have learned some simple tools. So let's go to the example problem. This is the example problem, which you can see it is a square plate with a cylindrical hole in it with circular cross section. You have the plan here and elevation here. So how can we draw this? Let me go to the next page. So these are the steps. Using these steps we can draw the problem. So first we have to fix the boundary. So that, how can we do that? Let's see. Let's go to the software. As I have already told, the preferences option. Let's go to the current drawing preferences. Here the paper size is A3. I have maintained it as A3. So let's see its width. For A3 size paper, the width is 420 and the paper height is 297. So let's assume that we are putting a 5 mm border on each side of the paper. So for both sides of 5 mm, let's take the length of 410. By subtracting 10 mm from width and height. So the border will be of 410 mm and 287 mm. Okay, so let's draw a rectangle of that size. So here we clicked on rectangle. It is asking for the first corner. Let's put 0, 0, 0, 0. So it starts from 0, since we have given 0, 0, and we will put the next corner as 410 mm by 287. So we got our border. So why I specified this boundary is, now let's see the print preview. See, we have given border, and according to that this print will come. So it's better to always know our boundary, and within that boundary we have to draw the drawings. Now I'll prefer to make these grids invisible. Okay, now let's go to the drawing. So next step is to draw the plan. So I have mentioned the coordinates for this diagram. Suppose we are starting from 150 and 150 mm. Why I have taken this is like I wanted to put this in the middle of the paper. That is why I started from 150 by 150. So by going through this coordinate system, we can draw it. This is the basic step through which we can draw. Otherwise there are some other methods we can use, but let's go first with the coordinate system. Then I will tell you how to use the other tools. How to do it in another way. First we will go through this coordinate system. So 150, 200 and all. So let's erase these things. Now you can use line tool or you can use rectangle tool. So first let's go for this line tool. Specify the first point. So we have taken it as 150 by 150. So it started here. So next point is 200 by 150. So similarly you can go for the next point, 200, 200. Fourth point is 150, 200, and the last point same as earlier, 150 and 150. Done. Now we got the square. So this square we can also obtain by rectangle command. Let's erase this. Now you can use the rectangle command also. Rectangle, specify the first corner. So we'll put 150, 150, and it will ask for the second corner, put 200 and 200. So we used rectangle tool. So the last drawings I have done using tools. So similarly we can use the command, say rectangle. We can simply press REC, or we can put RECT, rect. So it will ask for the first corner. Suppose we give this as first corner and specify the second corner. So like this we can use this rectangle command. Now let's erase them. Now we got the square. Let's go for the circle. Here the coordinate for the center point of circle is 175 by 175. Let's go for that. Before going to this drawing, I should mention one thing, that I have already kept the units as mm. So don't forget to specify the unit first. This is one of the basic steps to do. Since I have already mentioned millimeter as mm, so I didn't change. But whenever you start drawing anything, don't forget to mention the unit. So let's go for the circle command. Here we can directly put circle. So it will ask for the center point. Let's put as 175 by 175. And next it is asking for the radius. We have kept the radius as 12.5 mm. So let's put that 12.5. So we got the circle here. So here our plan is completed. Now let's go for elevation. Let's see the coordinates. For elevation I will start from 150 by 100. So let's do it. It's 150 by 100. So next we can take line, especially the first corner, 150 and 100. We got this point. Here we can see it seems to be quite distant. That's okay. Next point we can put 200 by 100. Next point is 200 by 75. The fourth one is 150 by 75. And the original point is 150 by 100. So we got the elevation also. Here I have kept this distance more. You can manage to keep it less. So I just assumed some things and I kept, so you can put them in closer distance. So now we got the plan and the elevation, and let's go for this hidden line. Since this is a hole, so this edge of the circular hole will be hidden line. So for that we can select the line and you can change the property. So first let's draw those lines. let's see the coordinates. The coordinates are 162.5, 100 here, and these are, let's draw those lines. Now before drawing these lines, if you want to change their properties, since they are hidden lines, so you can change the lines. This is the property, this is the pen toolbar. Here we can change the property of the line and all. So here you select line width is okay. So select the type of line. Select dash tiny. Now let's draw the line. Let's see the coordinates. So 162.5 by 100 to 162.5 by 75. Let's draw the line. First point is 162.5 by 75. To 162.5 by 100. 162.5, 100. So we got this dashed line. Again we'll use that line command. Specify the first one. So it is 187.5 by 100. 187.5 by 100 to 187.5 by 75. So we got two dashed lines. Now our plan and elevation are complete. Let's go for the center line of this circular hole. We should keep the center line for both plan and elevation. Let's go for this. Center line will put a center line format here in plan and elevation. So this point we know as 175 by 175. So let's draw the center lines there. For center lines I will suggest to use this vertical and horizontal lines. So this is horizontal. Before that we can change the property of the line as center line. So we put it as center tiny. Now use this horizontal line tool. Here the length is 100. The length is mentioned as 100. We can put it as 10. And we'll put it this snap point as middle. So the position of the line we can put it is 175 by 175. So we got this line. So again this vertical line we have to keep. So let's use the vertical command. Put the length is 10 and snap as middle and specify the position 175 by 175. So we got center lines here, and another center line we have to put here. So this length is 25. Let's put that. So here we can change the length as 25 and change this as endpoint. So it will show a vertical line which starts from the endpoint. This endpoint we want. So it shows using this snap tool we can also directly select the midpoint of this line, or we can give the coordinate. Know the coordinate as 175 by 100. Otherwise we can directly snap to the middle point and we can draw it. So now the center line is done and these header lines are done. So for us this plan and elevation is complete. Now this plan and elevation are complete. Go for the next step. So we did plan and elevation. Now we'll go for the dimensioning. Before going for dimensioning, I will show you some different methods how to draw this drawing. First we went for coordinate system. Now we don't need for coordinate system. Simply we can do that drawing. So let's do that. Here let me first delete all these drawings. Since it's a square, we can use this horizontal line or vertical line. Let's use horizontal line. The length of the line is 50 and we'll start from the end point or starting point. So you just put this line anywhere. It's done. Now use vertical line. This length of this line is 50, and you can use a start point. So already we have kept the snapping options as and snap at end points, so it will show directly the end point. And one more thing we forgot to do, we have to change the property of these lines, right? So you can select those lines and apply the property command. Select those lines. So here you can change them as continuous. This line you select, change as continuous. Done. Now to draw this horizontal and vertical lines again. So simply we can use this horizontal and vertical lines, but we can make use of some other tools. Say in modify we can use this move and copy. Select this line. We have selected the entity. Now select this line and use the move command. It will ask for the first reference point, so you put this endpoint as first reference point, and it just got copied. You put it at the last end of this vertical. So here it will ask for whether you want to keep it original or keep delete the original. You keep the original since we are copying. Now we have to copy this line also. So we have selected that line. So we type the command move. Then the first point it is asking. So here we can take this first point and we can paste it, and we will keep the original. Now for us this rectangle is complete. Now we will use the circle command. Simply you put the circle command. Earlier we knew the coordinate of this center point, so we kept directly we put the center point. So now since we don't know or we are going for another approach, so let's draw another line which is vertical and length is 50. Here we'll go for starting point. Now we'll find the midpoint of this line. So here we put that line. Okay, so this line is now passing through the center point of the circle. Now you will use the circle command. So let's put the circle command. So it will ask for the center. Now let's go to the snap toolbar. Here we have kept the snap to middle tool as on, so it will show us the middle point of that line, and we will give the radius as 12.5, and we got the circle. Now we don't need this line, so this line we can delete. So we got the plan. Similarly we can get the elevations also. How will you get that? So let's use this vertical line. So here change it as endpoint. Just simply already we have mentioned this 50 mm distance, so let's change it as say 40, and we'll get the elevation 40 mm away from this or down from this. So let's put this line. Why I kept this line? We'll start the elevation drawing here, so that is why I kept this line. Now let's draw a horizontal line. Since we know this length of this line is 50 mm, so let's put it as 50 mm, and we'll snap from the start. So we'll put it. So we got this line. So another line we want, vertical line, and we will start from the end. and this depth of this elevation is 25 mm. So we'll put 25 mm and we'll draw it. Now one more tool I can show you, that is offset tool or parallel tool. So let's select this line. We want a parallel line here. We selected that line and we can give the command offset. So it will ask for the distance. So let's put as the distance 25 mm. So it will ask for the position. So we can put it here. So our line is created here. Similarly, we can offset this line also. We'll put the distance as 50 mm and we'll put this line. So according to your cursor, it will show the position of the line. So you got this line here. Now we don't need this line, so we can delete it. Now earlier we used this coordinate system. Now we want these hidden lines here. Okay, so directly from these points you can drop lines. So let's use this vertical lines. Let's start from the end and let's approximately take this distance as some bigger distance. Say make it 200. So it is crossing this line. Okay, so here snap this quadrant point will be automatically snapped. We've selected there and put another line also here. Okay, now we need to trim these lines from this elevation. So we'll use the trim command, or we can use directly this tool trim. Simply we can type trim. So it will ask for the limiting entity. So this is our limiting entity and this one is the limiting entity. The first we will select one limiting entity, then it will ask for the object to trim. Remember, the portion of this object you want to keep, you have to click on that, so that beyond the limiting entity the lines will be trimmed. So you select here, that went, and this will also go like this. Again you want to trim these lines, so you click one right click you give, then it will ask for the limiting entity. So select this one, then it will ask for the entities to trim and you select these lines. Sorry, we will go back. We'll put the trim command again, select the limiting entity, then it wants to wants the trim entity, so we will click here. That's done. Now we want to make these lines as hidden lines, so we'll select these lines and we'll use the property command. So here we can change it as dash tiny, and this one also we can change it dash tiny. Done. Now we have to put the center lines. The earlier ways we did for center lines, those also we can put, or simply we can drop a horizontal line which is passing through this center point of this circle, for which we will use this snap center. Okay, now let's use a vertical line first. We got earlier we gave this 200 length, so we'll use this snap to center, so it will give directly the center point. Okay, we got this line. Now we have to trim it, so we'll use trim command. select the limiting entity, this one, select the object, got trim, again right click, select the limiting entity, trim the object, done. Then we need to change the property command, if property, so use property command, select this one, you can change it as center line, done. Similarly we can put here, directly change it as center and put vertical lines, suppose 10, snap at the middle and put it here, use horizontal line, just 10 mm length, snap at the middle and put it here, it's done. For us now this plan and elevations are done. Now we have to go for dimensioning. Now let's go for dimensioning. Before going for dimensioning, we should fix the dimensioning options. Going to the current drawing preferences. Here we have dimensions. Let's go for units. Here we have already kept this units. This precision we can change it as 0.0. I am preferring that. And let's go to this dimension tab. Here length factor is kept 1, text style is standard. All these things you can change according to your preferences or according to your requirements. I will change the text height to say 5 mm and this dimension gap to say 2 mm and offset as 2 mm. All these things you can take them as your requirement. So I am putting it as 5 mm and text size I can put it as 2 mm. All these things I can change. Now here you see format units, so here I will change it as 0.0 and the other things let them be like that. So let's do dimensioning. Here you see it is aligned, like it will give you the the distance between two points. So let's go for aligned, or we can go for this linear, because since these lines are either vertical or horizontal, so we can go for linear. So let's go for them. So linear, we want this measurement of this line and this line, so we can put here and here and it will give us the line, so 50 mm. So again let's see, this line is coming as the center line. We can use the property command and select this line and put it as continuous. Similarly we can give dimensions to this, so use linear, select this part and this would be 50. So here we are seeing this angle which we have to change, put it as horizontal, so you will get 50. Now we have to give the dimension for this circle. Here you see it is radial, so it asks for the entity, so we'll select this circle and it will give us the diameter radius of this circle, or simply we can use the diameter. So we can delete this one and we can use the diameter dimension. So let's use it. We'll select this circle and it will give us the diameter. So here we can also put this level as 5 and it will give us the 5 level, and we can put it like this. Now we need to give dimension for these lines. Since already this distance is for 50, so we don't need to give dimensioning for this line, but we have to give this vertical dimensioning. So say use this align. Let's put this line as dimension. and we got this as 25. So for us this dimensioning are done. So you know you could see how to use this dimension.